What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Marshall. This is Marshall Morphs, and if you were tuned in to our last video, you will have watched, yes, unfortunately, the last egg cutting of 2020. So I figured with the next the next video, it only makes sense to kind of do a little review. We had a lot of holdbacks this year, mainly due to my lace projects and building towards making supers in combinations. So we had a lot of holdbacks this year. So I figured it was about time to bring out a video showing those 2020 holdbacks. And I'm just really excited about that group that we have to grow up. And I really look forward to the future of them. So without further ado, we're going to fire up the old photo tent, bring the camera over there, and we'll have a look at this year's holdbacks. Yeah. All right, we will start off the first holdback with one from the first clutch of the year. And this was, the pairing was my bamboo puzzle paired to a lace female. So what we have here is just a female 100% het puzzle. It's very interesting in that clutch to see there was a couple of male hets that didn't have like this copper color to it. So it's very interesting to see the variations. That could be the het puzzle influence, or it could be just the wild type variation in it, but just a stunning looking female. So the first holdback, female het puzzle. And now moving on to the next. This combines two of my favorite genes in one. Not visually, but we have here a male lace 100% het puzzle. So as you can see, we have our popcorning from that lace gene and a very nice clear belly on there. This one is pretty different from its sibling, as you'll see here in a second, but this one here tends to have more of a darker pattern and also way more keyholes in those alien heads, as you see here. And we'll have a look at his sister coming up next. And now here she is. Again, a lace 100% het for puzzle. Again, there we have that lace popcorning going on, and very clear belly. So, but as you'll notice, more of a gold tone to her, and as I'd mentioned, in those alien heads, hardly any keyholes in the alien head. So that's pretty cool to see a comparison of the variation within the lace gene itself. So that was very cool to show those differences. And moving on for the next one. Okay, now I did say moving on to the next one, but I think I wanted to bring them both in to show the comparison. Now originally, when these came out of the egg, this one here, as you can see, has a much lighter head, a little more lightness overall on the color. Now this one here on the right is the one that I thought was just simply bamboo with the het influence from the puzzle. These are both bamboo het puzzles, but I did initially think that, oh, I'm gonna tie each other up knots here. That's very cool. But I did initially think this one here was bamboo lace and this one here was just bamboo. Now as they've grown, I've kind of, well, I've had a little curveball thrown at me, so we're gonna have to take this guy here, and since it is a male, both of these are males, I'm gonna pair him before the rest of the puzzle stuff grows up. I'm going to pair this guy to a lace female to find out if I was wrong, and Now, as you can see here on camera, this one here is starting to get this much brighter color, so I think I was initially wrong, but we shall soon find out. No matter, because these guys are holdbacks. Just one thing for me to prove out. But these two are absolutely beautiful. Like I said, bamboo lace 100% puzzle, and a bamboo 100% het puzzle. Alright, now stepping away from lace for a moment, we have here the pairing on this was a scaleless head het pied paired to a het pied. So we have a female scaleless head, 66% het, 4 pied, and I feel pretty confident that she is going to prove out to be het pied. But she, again, scaleless heads, bringing in that good contrast, good clean pattern, just beautiful little scaleless head. Side note, the male, or there was some funky looking babies in the clutch that weren't scaleless head, but when I sent out pictures and asked around, a lot of people kind of thought that the offspring looked to be possibly trick. And if you see in her pattern, even she has some of that hooking and stuff, but not so much on the alien heads, but some of this stuff coming across is hooking and little donuts and stuff like that, so she could possibly be trick as well. We shall see. But so we have female scaleless head, 66% het for pied. Alright, and now moving on to her sibling. That's right, boys and girls. Scaleless head, pied right there. And he is absolutely stunning. He's kept a nice bright pattern so far, and in my opinion, I prefer kind of those medium whites. I like to see a nice 50-50% of pattern and whites. I think that's the best pieds, but you know, that's just me. Now, I did mention before that there's a possibility of the sire of this clutch being in fact a trick, so that could be one reason as to why he has such nice bright pattern still. That also could be from the scaleless head influence, cleaning up and brightening up that pattern. But alright, here we are jumping back into the lace again. Now we'll see if I can't get through this without getting tagged. This little gal was from the beginning just an animal. I question whether or not she was ball python to begin with. In fact, it seems she was so amped up and striking at everything, she would just strike the hell out of her food but not actually constrict and eat. So it took me a while to get her calmed down to where she would eat. But anyways, pairing for this one was super lace paired to a super citrus pastel line calico. So what we have here is a lace citrus pastel calico, and I'm really happy with the reaction between the calico and the lace. I think that's pretty darn cool. Beautiful looking snake. Just pattern is amazing, and she's been coloring up nicely throughout her time. And I think she's just going to be an amazing looking adult as well. That's one of the benefits of lace. It helps keep some of that color and pattern into adulthood, which, you know, I think as ball python breeders, that's something we should strive for. So again, lace citrus pastel calico. Our third lace clutch of the season. Pairing again was super lace to a phantom. Very simple pairing, but man, I'm so pleased with the results between lace and phantom. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that popcorning going along the belly line, and then just the simple keyholes that are common with Phantom, and then the lace trying to shrink that up, pinch it up, and then look at those donuts down the dorsal. It just goes on and on. So, and then again on and on into the side pattern. Just beautiful. Color is amazing. This little female, got big plans for her as well. Oh, just so pleased with how all my lace projects went this season. Great little start to making more combinations with the super form. That's the plan. So again, female lace Phantom. Alright, so before we move on into the final lace clutch this season, we'll skip out of order a little bit to these two little beauties. So pairing on this was an ultramel to an Arroyo head ultramel. Now I'm not very familiar, I'm not very good with the Arroyo gene itself, so I had to look for help in identifying this, but I've gotten from a couple of sources that these are in fact Arroyo ultramels. So we have the visuals, a male and a female. So that couldn't have worked out any better. We also do have, like I said, the female, the Arroyo het. So these guys make the perfect little trio with mom. So very, very cool. So I have a lot of work to do in the future as far as like kind of recognizing Arroyo, but this is a start. And I think maybe in part that they don't show too much visual indication of being Arroyo could be in fact from ultramel itself, as it tends to clean up things. So it could be what's going on there, but we're going to find out for sure. I mean, because it really doesn't matter. These guys are holdbacks. So whether they're Arroyo or not, they're ultramel, which is amazing to plug into other genes. So either way, these guys are staying right here. And with the final lace clutch of 2020, one of them being this little beauty here, this male lace blackhead. I love the interaction between these two. The popcorning from the lace is just intensified. That blushing coming up off of that lace, the flaming is just insane. And the black, the rich black that's coming through on the dorsal and in between the alien heads is just so sweet. And then with all four lace blackheads from that clutch, the pattern that comes through on the neck stripe, that was consistent with all four of them. So again, an indication of blackhead in that lace. And searching around, guys, I mean, I guess just a little personal satisfaction, kind of something I'd strive for when I very first started breeding ball pythons was, someday I'd like to produce a world's first. As far as I've been able to research and find, that with the blackhead, this blackhead lace is also a world's first combination. It's not that big of a deal really if you think about it, with the thousands and thousands of combinations that are coming out every year. With all of the genetics and the genes in ball pythons, it's not that big of an accomplishment, but it is a personal accomplishment that I'm very proud of. So, very cool stuff. Again, this male blackhead lace. And now finally, the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme, is in shed. Of course. Should almost make a video of her by herself after she shed out. This thing just blew my mind. This one here is definitely my favorite of the year. I just absolutely love the interaction that what we have going on here. This is a lace blackhead Phantom, and man, I am so happy with the results of that clutch. Just amazing when she's out of shed. The black is so rich, and you see how obviously the phantom and the lace are reducing those alien heads almost into just donuts down the side. And then of course the lace is also, along with the blackhead, raising up the white belly lines. That speckling along the white belly line is just, oh, it's so cool. Down to the tail, she's just absolutely gorgeous. And one of my personal favorites, she is also a world's first as well. I mean, I guess the biggest thing, guys, is you all know how I feel about the lace genes, so having a couple of world first combinations in the lace gene is huge for me. I love it. But she's just a stunner, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for her and the combinations that are still to come. So with that, guys, I'm going to end it on this fantastic note. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think of these guys.